What's going on, Alpha Futures family? Back with another qualified trader interview. Today I'm here with Andy. I'll let him introduce himself right after this, because Andy just did over a $7,000 payout with us last week. He's here to tell us about his story. Andy, take it away. Who are you? Where you're from? What got you into trading?
So my name's Andy. I'm a 19-year-old kid from Melbourne, Australia. What got me into trading was I was sitting in class in Year 12 one day, scrolling through TikTok because I wasn't really like a student to study a lot. So I found out about like some TikTokers talking about Forex and making money fast, and I ended up falling in that trap. Yeah.
Hey, got your attention. It got you to where you are now, at least.
Yeah.
So from there, what was it? It was all Forex you mentioned. Was it straight into prop firms that got you started, or what? Were you kind of trying around on personal accounts before that?
So I discovered trading around January last year, but I didn't really take it seriously until September last year when I started using baby tips. I feel like everyone would know about that. Yep.
Yeah.
So I originally started with Forex, right? And I've only started trading futures like 2 to 3 months ago.
Boom.
Yeah, but I had a rough time with Forex and it didn't really go well, so I had to make the change.
Cool. And were we your introduction to futures, or what got you introduced to futures?
I've always known about futures. I just didn't trade it. From YouTubers like ICT, TJR and stuff. So I knew about that you could trade futures, but I just stuck to CFDs because that's what was most popular.
Yeah. So I guess tell me a little bit about like the trading scene in Australia, because like the UK we know is pretty much the Forex hub of the world, because the pound's so strong. Is it mostly Forex dominated over there, or fill me in there?
To be honest, there's not much people in Australia that trade Forex that I know. There's only one influencer. Am I allowed to say the name?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
So I don't know if you know Trading Pool. So that's what originally got me into Forex. He trades AUD, USD. That's what most of the people in Australia trade, actually.
Okay, cool.
So futures is not really common at all.
Cool. That's good to know. I mean, I'm sure if you figured out, we'll talk about what assets you trade and everything, but you know what I mean? Like Australian dollar is a pretty liquid asset in futures too. That's obviously something we're putting out more and more educational content is like, hey, these things, Forex is not just a CFD thing. I literally just wrote a webinar article on this right before we got on this call tonight. Forex is not a CFD thing. CFDs are just a tool in trading Forex, right? It's just exposing you to a market, because a CFD is technically just a type of contract. I feel like most people don't realize that. It's an unregulated contract. That's obviously why I like futures better, is one's regulated, one isn't. But they're both just types of contracts that give you leverage into a certain type of market, which AUD is one that actually has some decent liquidity in the futures space too. So that's interesting that, it makes sense, obviously, that AUD is one of the more commonly traded assets over there. But that is funny that like neither Forex or futures, I guess, are too popular. I would still guess Forex is probably
Forex is more popular.
Still more popular. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think so many people don't realize, like, hey, Forex is just a type of market. It literally just stands for foreign exchange. You can get access to that. I mean, I'm sure there's options contracts out there that exist on currency pairs and whatnot that you could get written up for you. But futures and CFDs, both are available. So that's interesting. But talking about you, what assets are you mostly trading? And, if you could walk us through your strategy, if you were to sum it up in a couple sentences, what does that look like?
So right now, I only trade NQ.
Cool.
So I used to be that type of person to trade gold, and I lost a lot of money trading gold. So yeah, but I've only stuck to NQ for the past 2-3 months.
Nice.
And basically, like, I don't really use a specific strategy like that people teach out there. I do use some concepts, mainly divergence.
Cool.
Between the NQ and ES, and I do use imbalances. But most of the time, I just use price action. Just my experience sitting here and watching the market, seeing how it moves every day. And yeah.
Awesome. So you mostly trade now, like what kind of time frame? Like 5 minute, hour, what time frame you typically using?
Time frame, I would say I use 4 hours for a general narrative, sorry, and most of my entries are on the 5 minute or 15 unit.
Nice. So honestly, I bet you and I are pretty similar because I just tell people pretty much supply demand on the 1 hour and then 5 minute entries. And that's where I've come from, is just years of studying price action. So I bet you, honestly, we probably have some similarities in the style too, because I've talked about that with imbalances and, kill zones and everything ICT teaches. I never really caught a grip with that, or even a lot of people on like the SMC side of things. I just found it as kind of distracting when there's too many things.
It is.
So I'm kind of the same way. I'm typically 1 hour for me. I do like 4 hour and daily as well for, like you said, general narrative. I think that's a good way to put it. But the hourly or 5 minute, that's all I kind of need every day. So when you're talking about divergence, like you hear the term like SMT out there, is that typically what you're looking for? Is that what you're looking for?
To be honest, I don't really get the name. It's just the divergence between the assets, NQ and ES. I don't use YM that much. Mainly NQ, ES. Look for a higher time divergence. Typically, it could be in an imbalance, or it could be in a kill zone as well. I sometimes do like care about the time, but since Australia, it's hard to trade in New York, so I'm not really trading that late most of the time.
That makes sense. So what session are you typically trading? London and then stop before New York?
I found that there's actually a lot of liquidity in the market right when market opens, which is 9 a.m. for me.
Okay.
So when I wake up, that's what I found. Like, genuinely, there is like a lot of liquidity moving in Asia for NQ as well, which was surprising. I used to trade London a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's interesting. So, I mean, based on what we're saying, right, talking about the 5 and 15 minute, what we both like, I personally have a really tough time trading the Asian session just because it does move so much slower than the New York. And I feel like a lot of like, you know what I mean? It is more range bound typically. But like I said, I'm something that loves playing like trend and 5 minute structure. So I'm always looking for like a higher low to obviously go to higher highs from there if I'm going to go long. Opposite if I'm going short, right? Looking for the lower high. And I feel like Asian session, I just get so many range trades, which I personally don't trade well. Like I'm definitely a trend trader. Like I need a move on the weekly chart. That's what I use the weekly chart for usually. Like last week on NQ, for example, printed as a perfect doji. That's like a week from now for me. You know what I mean? But like you could have killed it maybe during the Asian session because we were getting at least some moves overnight in that range.
Yes, honestly, sometimes Asia has one of the biggest moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I've been reading more and more into just how frequently the Asian session within the first hour, right? So when you're starting trading, that first hour you're trading, that first hour, like the probability of it printing the higher low of the day is actually pretty high. It's, and
that's also something I take into consider, because it kind of forms the daily candle for, it kind of projects where price is going to go for the day. So.
Absolutely, which I mean, I guess makes sense, right? If it's going to be like acknowledged as its own session, and it's not a short one either, right? Like it goes all the way to London.
Yeah.
It's not a short session, so like I still haven't gotten a grip on trading it myself. I'm glad that you have, obviously, with the payouts and stuff, but I still struggle with the Asian session for sure. But there is a ton of valuable price action there, and that's something that's extremely powerful in the future space. Obviously, Forex, pretty much trades 23 hours a day as well. I think that's also something people don't realize about the future space because it's based out of the US. It trades 23 hours a day as well. And I mean, you're living proof right here. Most of my other interviews have been London, New York session. This is good. Now we got a trader from the Asian session as well that's killing it. So speaking of killing it, like I said, you did do over a $7,000 payout with us last week. Are you comfortable telling us, how much capital you're doing with and funding across not just us, but any other firms? And total payout.
Any firm is fine. So, I think to me, I don't want to like be like egotistical about my performance, but I'm really proud of myself because
you should be.
I've only started getting profits this past month and a half, and I managed to pull out almost 100,000 Australian dollars.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's just this month, you said?
Yeah, just this month. So, I pulled out around 60,000 USD from Top Set.
Nice.
15,000 USD from almost 15 from you guys Alpha.
Yep.
And around 4,000 from Apex. And and I started with my funded futures. So I've got around 15,000 USD from them.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I mean, that's great stuff. And yeah, something I do want to highlight here, because you saw I put it in the Discord to give you a shout out. And he's taken one evaluation with us. One. You know, a lot of people just like kind of roll counts and flip them and stuff, like you just said. Like $300 shy, I think right now, 15,000 from a $79 investment. Like insane. I mean, you're the perfect example of why, you know, I mean, people are always looking for like that 80-90% discount. We won't ever do that here.
Yeah.
That's not our brand anyway. We have confidence in the product. We think the pricing's already extremely fair. Turn $79 into 15,000. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not a pricing issue. It's people actually valuing just that small amount of money they spent to turn it into more. But that's incredible. Dude.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. I'm so glad to hear that. So I mean, you have to be sitting at what, probably 600,000-700,000 in funding, somewhere around there then.
So I'm funded 250Ks with TopStep.
Nice. And then us 150. My funded futures
with Alpha, 2 with Apex, and
the 200.
3 with my funded futures. But I now a live trader with my funded futures, and a live trader with TopStep. Yeah.
Awesome. That's it. I actually just moved to live with TopStep this past month.
You just moved, yeah. I saw the post.
Oh, nice, cool. Yeah. That's amazing stuff, man. So yeah, probably right around, it's gotta be what, around that $500,000 mark, right? If I was listening correct, between all that 150,
all right,
200,
400, yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. That's amazing stuff. And how long have you been trading?
So I began in September around 28th last year.
Okay, cool.
And from then to all the way June this year, I've actually passed 30 Forex funded accounts, but I've never reached a payout in any of them.
Really?
Yep. So I passed 30 to 40 Forex fundeds, right? But I could never ever reach a payout with any of those, which made me switch to futures in around June this year. And so after like a couple months, like really getting into NQ, like I think I finally clicked with it. Yeah.
I would say so. Based on your past month at least, I would say so for sure. Why do you think that is? So I mean, obviously the transition from Forex to futures has gone incredibly well for you. But like if you were to tell somebody else why you've had so much more success, why do you think that is?
I just think the price action moves way better on futures. I genuinely think that futures is much easier to read than Forex. And there's like, Forex can have I wouldn't say manipulation. Like I'm not the type to say like the broker's like controlling or something. But it's just like a lot more difficult to understand where price action is going. And you have the temptation to always trade on the 1 minute with Forex because the 4 hour doesn't move as much. And like with trading on the 1 minute can be very dangerous.
Absolutely. Well said. So I mean, I'm one to agree. Obviously I used to trade in the CFD space too. You know, I've done about 100K in payouts in each in CFDs and futures. I have not gone back to CFDs for the same reasons you're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't gone back.
It really just shows through, right? Regulated data versus not. And what you're talking about, the price action being so much better. It's not, again, like you said, not to like be like, oh, all CFD brokerages are manipulating price. But again, one is regulated, one is being centralized, one is data that everyone is seeing the same. The other, you don't have any guarantee or regulation telling you this brokerage is going to have the same CFD prices as the other. There's nothing doing that, kind of bringing it all together. So I'm glad you've experienced that super positive note, because that's what I keep trying to tell people of, you know, a lot of people see the drawdown in the future space and wonder why it's so much tighter. Then they actually experience the data and they're like, wow, this is a much better trading environment. And that obviously makes sense why the drawdown is so much tighter than CFDs, because you're going to get less slippage. You're going to get less random prints that are on one broker and not the other. Your fills are generally going to be better because the spreads are way tighter. So yeah, I'm glad you're experiencing that, but I hope other traders hear that too. Because like you said, you've only been trading futures for a couple months and it's already clicked for you how much better it is. But that's great to hear. All right, now walk me through. I mean, what have you liked at Alpha? Why Alpha? What brought you to us? Obviously, I know a couple of payouts is why you like us now, but you know what I mean, besides that, kind of walk me through that.
Um, this is something since my CFD days. I've always wanted to be a fund trader at Alpha Capital, but I never made it, So, and I heard about you guys opening Alpha Futures. But I didn't get into it straight away because it was still new and I didn't know much. But I do like that the best thing that you guys have is that you don't require traders to trade every single day, as long as you meet the consistency rule. Because I know a lot of other firms, they say, oh, you can request as much as you want on like the higher level accounts, right? Like the expert account. But they would still enforce rules to make you have to trade consistently. Whereas this, as long as you just abide by the rules, the 40%, you can make as much as you want, right? You'll still get paid out. Along with that, the fact that you can withdraw all the way to your maximum loss limit.
Yeah. So just so the audience might not know what you're talking about. First of all, a lot of other people have withdrawal caps, right? Like that's something we wanted to avoid. And even we were talking about, we are very competitive in pricing. I'll admit, we're not the cheapest in the industry. Did not care to be. We didn't want withdrawal caps. That was something that was very important to us from the start. I think our prices reflect that, both as fair to the consumer, but also making sure we can keep that goal, right? But then the other thing there is the buffer zone restrictions. So here you may actually withdraw all the way to your max loss limit, which yes, will close out your account, but we felt like that should be a decision for the trader to make, not for the firm to be like, nope, you can't have that money that you made. So just so the audience understands there, that's again, I mean, I've been trading props for years now myself. That's something I definitely wanted changed because I was like, yeah, if I want to keep the account longer, sure, that should be an option. But just requiring traders, I guess, to keep something open and pretty much lock up money, we didn't feel was necessarily fair. So that's obviously how we landed on the consistency rule. Very happy with our rules overall. I'm glad you are too. The inactivity rule too, like you said, kind of forces people to trade. I don't know if any firms out there are like daily. I know there are at least a couple days a week. Those are out there. I mean, like you said, with us, you could take 3 trades every 2 weeks and continue to get paid out that whole time. Yeah. No reason to overtrade. Just follow the rules. You will be paid, right? So the same thing over at Alpha Cap, but as you've experienced here, same deal over here.
Yeah.
And you're trading obviously with us on Project X Alpha Ticks platform. Are you using that over at Top Step as well? Top Step X?
Yep.
Awesome. What do you like most about the platform?
Honestly, the trading view chart.
Nice.
Like integrated with like the DOM, the buy and sell. I just think it looks really nice. Executions are pretty nice as well. And the ability to just drag into your stop loss. Yeah,
that was
can't do that trading view.
Great. Coming over from MetaTrader, right? That honestly, the only thing I liked about MetaTrader was the click and drag for stop loss and take.
Yeah.
Other than that, it looks like it's from like the 60s. Obviously that was something that the Project X team was like, okay, prop traders clearly love that, but let's actually put this platform in 2024, and I think the aesthetics and the graphics and everything definitely match that. But that's my favorite as well. I mean, I trade on Top Step X and obviously our platform testing and everything. That's my favorite as well, as the click and drag feature. Automatically updates the OCOs and everything. I don't know how every platform on earth doesn't have that feature yet, but quite a few don't, to be honest. Even some of the biggest brokerages in the world. Like I trade personally on Thinkorswim, and I'm like, how don't they have that feature? Like one of the most powerful companies in the world, and they don't have that feature. So I'm definitely a fan of that.
It's a great feature.
For sure. Cool. Just I will do a couple more, just wrap up, Andy. Is there anything you kind of want to go over?
Not really. That I want to go over. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. And then we'll do a couple wrap up. So what I've got here. So Andy, anything that maybe I have not asked you today, or something that you want to ask the next trader I interview? Could be about anything, their trading journey, something about Alpha futures that you're curious about their experience, or even just a question that you want me to answer and I haven't asked you yet. But I will ask this in the next trader interview as well.
One question about alpha. Would there ever be, you know how a lot of firms are implementing 5-day or 1-week payouts? Would that ever be a consideration?
Absolutely. So I'll give it to you right now because this interview is going to go out after we launch the advanced plan that will be launched on Monday. That will have 5 green trading days per payout. So that will open up the opportunity for weekly payouts there too. So the advanced plan we are launching, we're pretty much any of the complaints anybody has on our standard plan. It's, hey, here's obviously a tougher evaluation, but it's addressing all the things you want. No consistency on funded, no news rule. No news rule is a big one there. No scaling plan, and like you said, the weekly payouts. So that will be the advanced plan launching next week. Which, like I said, I can tell you because this won't be up until after it's out. But so I'm
excited.
Yeah, we're actively trying to address. Any improvements that people make, that's always a goal of ours to somehow find a way to implement it. I'm sure you saw today I posted that we dropped reset prices on our standard plan because
I did see that. Yeah,
that was just a small piece of feedback that people were like, hey, that would be nice. Obviously, we want to implement things within reason that our customers are asking for. We do want to implement them. Like I've said, I think our rules are absolutely some of the best in the industry. That does not mean we're going to be dirt cheap. But that's also why we have the rules that we have, is that we feel like it's a very, very fair offering. Cool. Now some questions that my last interview asked that they wanted me to ask the next person. What did you spend your first payout on?
I didn't spend my first payout. I waited till I stacked up a bit, but I did, I bought my girlfriend an iPad for uni.
Awesome.
And I bought myself a camera.
Good man.
Yeah.
I guess, is this like you're shooting content, like trading content, or more like photography stuff, or what?
I just wanted to get into photography, taking photos. If I do travel, yeah.
Very cool. All right. So if you do travel, so what's on the travel list and stuff? You already live in a pretty amazing area. I've been to Melbourne. I told you that's like one of my favorite cities in the world. Yeah. One of my favorite cities.
Do you want to go to Korea and Japan? Yeah. And honestly, it's a trader thing, but I do want to visit Dubai.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I haven't made it to Dubai yet. I kind of feel the same. Yeah, you're right. It's like every trader goes over there after they get a big payout. So hopefully you do one. Hopefully you do a couple payouts big enough that will pay for the trip to Dubai for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome though, man. Well, congratulations. Thanks so much for your time today, Andy. Like I said, joining us right after work. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, anything you'd like to see? I know you said the 5-day payouts were, like I said, that's on the way. Literally Monday, so I'm glad we're right away. Anything else you'd kind of like to see us improve and stuff? I know you've been paid out, same day every time you've been paid out with us, but anything you want to continue to see us to push, please speak freely here.
Last payout is like amazing, but the website does get a bit laggy sometimes, or a bit glitchy. So I do need to clear my cache every time I open the website.
That's on your dashboard, right?
Yeah.
On your dashboard.
Yep.
Good note.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll be able to show this recording right to the tech team. Like, see, I'm not crazy mad. Yeah. That's good to know, though. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Andy. Thanks so much for your time, man. And to the audience, I hope you guys got something out of Andy's interview today. We will be doing another one. We'll do a little bit more strategy talk when he has the Zoom permissions to share screen. Yeah. We'll definitely do that because I know you'll be getting some more payouts from us for sure. I have confidence in that. Doing amazing stuff, man. 19, I wasn't even trading yet. I didn't pick up trading until I was 21 actually, 21. So you're already years ahead of me. I didn't do my first payout until years after that. I was still trading options and stuff at the time. So absolutely amazing stuff. But to the audience, if you guys learned anything from Andy today, or if you want us to ask more traders, please just leave them in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button and hit subscribe to Alpha Futures. But Andy, thanks, man, so much for your time.
Good. Thank you.